Building Bridges is a trip to Israel and the Palestinian territories. Main goal was to take students from GW to the conflict, to Israel, to Palestine, to talk to people, to eat the food, to smell the smell, like to experience the place. Because I feel living outside is like hard to understand and very easy to judge, and I want people to have more perspective and the understanding of the complexity of the things, and it's not all black and white.
I wanted to go just because it's an interesting opportunity. I have been to Israel multiple times. I'm an Israeli citizen, so for me it was kind of having a bite of the forbidden fruit, because I would never be able to go to the Palestinian territories.
When I learned about the opportunity, I thought it was going to be a great experience to just look and study the conflict in person, without the social media biases and the social media entitlement that we see here in the United States. Personally, as an international student coming to this amount of activism and amount of information in social media that exists here in the United States, especially here at GW, I think it was very important to me to, first, because I am interested in the conflict, but second, to get a non-biased perspective of what really is happening on the ground.
My main motivation was like, since I am a Christian, I always wanted to go to Jerusalem and see like where Jesus was born, where he was crucified. That's like big part for me, and also like I wanted to understand the conflict, and I think being there is going to give me a more like clear vision of what's actually happening. So that's why I wanted to go.
When I thought who's the students I want to take, I knew I want students who gonna be open, that know a little bit but still gonna be open to like hear more thoughts, that are gonna ask difficult questions. I wanted students from all kind of like colors and backgrounds, and each one of you is so different, and that's what I wanted.
This was my only GW moment, this trip. And then not only because of the experience of traveling to Israel and Palestine, but also with the group of people we went with. I would say it was the best group that we could have ever had. A diverse group of people with diverse mindsets and diverse backgrounds, just building bridges together under this same idea that is to study and understand what is happening in a region in an unbiased way.
I've learned that things are very different when you see it in your own eyes and when you hear about it, because at GW I have heard like people talk about the conflict, but I have seen another, like it's another story when I went there and see people living through it, struggling through it. Both sides have been impacted, highly impacted, so that is something that I want to witness on my eyes in the future. Like I cannot just take people's idea, I have to go and see it on my own.
The conflict is much more complex than what we think, and much more complex than what we see in social media. There's a role of regional stability that takes place with both countries, Palestine and Israel, and we don't see other places in the world where we see all religions interact in one same place. I would say that is crucial for people to know, and that things are much more complex than what we see here in social media.
I think my biggest takeaway is that everyone has a truth, and you don't have to agree with that truth, but it's someone's truth.